He says, we got a problem bringing cocaine from Miami to New York. So I gave him my suggestions. And it worked. I built a corporation, it's called Isaac Garcia Corporation. I have my team there that will fill up the containers with green bananas.
How many kilos are in a...
Usually a container contains 1,200 or 1,800 boxes. Out of that, 800 boxes contain cocaine, 2 kilos a piece.
So you got about 1.5 tons.
Yeah, but sometimes you send 3 containers in a day.
Okay, now that's 4 tons of cocaine. Do you think you've moved 200,000 bricks since you started when you were 17?
Way more than that.
This is Adam Diaz, the former Dominican drug kingpin who ran a cocaine empire out of his Brooklyn bodegas during the 1980s. After doing a short prison stretch in the feds in the early 1990s, Adam got out and went on an even bigger run, this time establishing an import operation that brought in thousands of kilos a week from South America into New York City. Adam reveals the complex logistics involved in smuggling cocaine bricks hidden inside of legal shipments of bananas, and how he had teams of dock workers who would unload the cargo after it arrived on the waterfront ports in New York City, specifically Hunts Point in the Bronx. This is a fascinating insider look at the way that global drug trafficking operates in the modern world through legal cargo and legal points of entry. This is apex drug smuggling, with hundreds of millions of dollars going into Adam's pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of his saga, it's Dominican Poppy Adam Diaz, right here on The Connect with Johnny Mitchell. All right, everybody, as promised, it's Adam Diaz part 2. Before we get going, do me a huge favor and smash that like button and drop a comment below. It really helps push the video out to more people. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, just quickly hit that subscribe button and turn on the alert bell. All right, here we go. Adam Diaz, enjoy.
Do you consider yourself more Dominican or more estadounidense? American?
New Yorker.
Great answer. Great answer.
That's what I really feel. That's what I really feel. Because the years that you live in your life and the years that you take most advantage of it, your first love, your first, your
shooting,
high school sweetheart, you're making money the first time, like when I came to the States and I was a kid, and I started, like, when they send you to school in the States and you're a kid, and, Mom, you're gonna make me breakfast? No, you wanna go eat breakfast at the school. And then you go to school in New York and you eat the most tasteful breakfast.
Oh, really?
Yes. Back then, I don't know now, but back then, oh my God. And then you eat and you, oh my God, and then and that's where you meet the nice, beautiful girl, and that's quality time.
Yeah, it's your formative years. That's where you made your bones.
Yes.
You sold your first tonelada de coca, your first ton of cocaine. Do you think of guys your age in their 20s, were there a lot of guys at your level in New York, or do you think you were one of the top guys?
I'm one of the top guys, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because they all come to me, so why would they come to me?
Yeah.
And guys that were my connection, and then when I overpassed them, they were coming to me and they were like, Adam, I need this. Whatever happened to you? Oh, whoa. Okay. They because they have limited themselves. I don't limit myself.
You were always thinking big, even when you were 17 years old.
I talk to people and I travel a lot. Even my clothing, I go to Hawaii sometimes. They got the best clothing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Can
you go to Hawaii?
No. It's part of the States.
Right. So now you're deported. This is where we are now. You are banned from the U.S.
Yeah, maybe
you'll get back in one day.
I could go back in right now. I got friends that got deported and they right in there and I had conversations with them.
So you would just pay somebody to bring you in there?
I go in there anytime. I just don't want to go there. Why would I go there? What am I going to do there?
Yeah.
I don't want to sell drugs anymore.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to sell drugs anymore, what am I going to do there? Or I'm going to have a grocery store legally, or am I going to go work for someone? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
So where we left off was you're 25, 26 years old in 1989. You've moved at this point multiple, probably 100 tons of cocaine. Do you think you've moved 200,000 bricks since you started when you were 17?
Way more than that.
Your Colombian connect is like loving you. You've got multiple bodegas across Brooklyn. You've got dozens of workers. You've got stash houses. You've got apartments to break up the coke. And I mean, it's a whole operation. You got couriers.
Listen, I was locked up in Otisville. And my first cousin, Raul Palma, calls me up. We had a conversation. He says, Adam, I need help. I'm well, what do you need? I need to get in contact with somebody. I give him a contact. 6 years later, he gets arrested. Don Berna from the
Medellin Cartel.
Yeah, I gave it to him, and they got arrested. Wow. Yeah.
So you knew Don Berna?
I gave him Don Berna.
Were you working with Don Berna in the 80s?
What are his girlfriends?
No shit. You're probably a knowing you.
No.
Wow. So you knew the bosses like that?
Yes.
Wow.
So I gave it to him. And I was surprised because I say, this owes me money. He got to pay me.
Right.
But he got up.
So you were always dealing with the Medellin Cartel?
Yeah, always.
In the 80s?
In the 80s.
Even though...
And mid-90s.
Okay. Even after Pablo fell. Now, you get 10 years. You do 5.5, 6.
Yes.
And while you're down, you're already thinking about how you're going to get back.
No, I wasn't. If anything, I wasn't even thinking of going back into the war business, into the drug business. I came out, and it's amazing because I came out of jail and I needed a job because my parole officer wanted me to get a job, legal job, so I could, otherwise it's a violation. So I had my girlfriend call Arnie, an Arab guy, and Richard Thomas, that they used to give me work back in the early 80s when I was working electricity. And Arnie says, Adam, no problem. Come over and work for me. He likes me. This guy. I mean, I even sleep in his house. That's how much this guy liked me. I mean, and now he's bigger. Now he's doing post offices, hospitals, schools. He's in the it's called the, how do you call, what they control the construction companies in New York, the union. So he says, you want to join the union, Adam? I say, yeah, but he started giving me, I couldn't get used to that.
Right.
I couldn't.
You were making $3 or $4 million a week in your 20s. You haven't worked, because you haven't really worked since 1979. Now it's 1993, 94. How can you go back to that life?
94, 95.
94, 95, yeah. So you haven't worked in almost 20 years.
Yeah, but no, not 20 years. Not even. But it got to me that there was one time that I was at a school in Yonkers, high school. We're doing an electrical job. I'm just working because I have money. I still have money.
Right.
And I'm just working to fill up being on parole and stuff. And my parole officer was a nice girl. Her name is Malika Madison, black girl, nice, beautiful, nice. I like her. She was so sweet to me. She wanted me to leave drugs alone and just move on and just be, And then my ex-wife was with a cop and I had several problems with him. And she's trying to control me. She's a brilliant person. And but that's what one time, I'm in a construction site working electricity, and then we having lunch. We on the floor as any worker, and there's a magazine, and I'm looking at a magazine, and I saw a Porsche. And And there's a guy who's a helper, he's a helper. I'm an electrician, he's an electrical helper. And he's an Arab guy from Syria, I think. And he's with the other guy who's a boss above me. And the guy says, oh, and I looked at the car and I said, I had this car. But I forgot where I was for a minute. And I forgot who I was. And I'm looking at the car and I was looking back. I said, damn. And then I looked and I told the guy I had this car. He said, how? I said, yeah, I had this car before. And then the big boss says, how the f you gonna have this car making so much little money? And I look at the guy and I forgot. I said, shit, I f up. And I said, never mind. You don't know me and I don't know you, so never mind. Go f yourself, man. So the next day, Arnie comes to me. That's my boss. He says, Adam, don't open your mouth. I don't know who you are. I know who you are. Give him some time, man. He's above you because you just started to work for the company again. He's been here for years. You just started again. If you would have stood here a long time ago, maybe you would have been his boss.
You would have, for sure.
Exactly.
You would have owned your own company, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that opens my mind up and I say, ah. So anyway, the thing is that you're not going to believe it. I get out of jail December, 22nd. 2 days before Christmas. Never forget. They give you khakis, uniform when you're in immigration or whatever. I'm in immigration. And I made bail and I paid the bail out. And they gave, and I was wearing, this little t-shirts and it's cold outside. And so they tell me, you made out bail, you're going out, but you got to go to the ninth floor, whatever, to get a coat. I'm not going up. I'm going down. I don't want to be in this building anymore. No, Mr. Diaz, you got to go. I said, I'm not going anywhere except downstairs to the first floor and get the out of here. I spent too many. This guy was Panamanian descendant or something. His accent tells me that. But he understood me and he said, all right, Adam, give you a break. Go down. So I go down with my paperwork and everything. They let me out. It's freezing cold outside. I call my sister Arelis. I say, I'm already out. She said, I'm in the house. I didn't know. I say, get your ass over here. Come and pick me up. So she gets there. She picks me up. But guess what? She goes over there with my first wife, who happens to leave her husband alone, her ex-husband or whatever. He was like a boyfriend back then. And she went and picked me up with my sister. And we spent the night together. We have fun, whatever. And then she invited me to leave the country, not the country, the state. She says, Adam, we can start all over again. We can go to Florida, somewhere else, and start a new life. You're a nice guy. I love you. You love me. All these years, I wanted to marry, and I didn't because I was waiting for you. I wanted to make a new life with you. But I couldn't. Just the fact that she was with another man that would be my brains out. I couldn't do it. And I say, give him some time. So she knows I was playing the game, delaying, whatever. But the reason I'm saying this is because I know there was something after that. So I'm in my house in the Bronx, Surfing Boulevard, Surfing Boulevard. My father was living there. I was with my father.
And by the way, do you have cash stashed back at the island? Because you were sending tons of money back here.
I have money.
And your properties?
Not like I used to, but I have properties and I have money.
And were they able to seize any properties down here?
They seized a lot of properties.
Wow. So the U.S. government coordinated with the Dominican government?
I don't know how they did it, but for example, I had one of the apartments that I love most. I had a $400,000 apartment in the capital, and it was near the biggest bank in the capital, and that's like worth $25 million right now.
Wow!
And that apartment is a penthouse, 6th and 7th floor.
Right.
Nobody could go up more than that. It was huge, huge, huge. beautiful, and I love it. I love it sentimentally. I like it because I wanted to raise my daughter there.
Yeah.
And when I came back and tried to claim it, they say no.
What were some other kind of properties that you had, like?
Farms.
Mm-hmm.
Like 150 acres.
Wow. Yeah.
Cows, 500 heads of cows.
Wow.
It was good. It was nice.
And then what about the bodegas in New York?
No, they confiscated my building on New Lots. They took all that. They took everything.
Okay. But you still have something. You have something to get you going again if you want. Okay.
So, like a couple of months after I got out, I received a phone call. One of my ex-workers, the guys that work for me, his name is Sanchez. Sanchez called me, William Sanchez. He calls me up. No, Oldman called me. He died already. He passed away. Calls me up and he says, Rafael calls me up because we in contact. He says, Adam, I need to talk to you. I say, what about? I say, just get to Brooklyn. He was living on Holt Street, Brooklyn. Says, come on over, I need to talk to you. So I go there and I say, well, what about? He says, I know you're not doing too good. William calls me from Miami.
Who's William?
William is one of my ex-workers. He's still with one of my connections. So William calls me and says, they want to see you in Miami.
The Colombians.
Yeah, I say, who want to see me? Because there was a technique at the airport that I knew they didn't know about it to pass coke and the X-ray wouldn't recognize it. So they want to know how I do it. So he calls me up and said, we want to see you. And I said, listen, I'm on parole. It's not even parole, it's called special supervised release. Say, I can't go there. They say, we already got that covered. We got a fake ID for you, license, driver, and everything. And we want you here by Monday, and it's a Thursday. And we want to see you. And there's no, it's a yes, you got to get here. I say, shit. And I knew who he was. I say, all right. So I left there, I go there. I couldn't believe it. But I didn't know that, because I'm always internationally traveling. Back in the 80s, I don't do local traveling. I didn't know it was so easy to travel from Miami to New York or to Texas or LA or whatever. They'll ask you for passport. They don't go crazy. All you do is show your ID, get a ticket, and you are up in the plane and you up there. And that's what I did. So I go up there and then they had a conversation with me. They had a meeting, big meeting, few guys.
And these guys were from the Medellin Cartel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when they saw me. And then there's this guy called Pico Chato.
Pico Chato.
Pico Chato means it's a bottle of rum, Dominican rum, small. When you a drug head, when you an alcoholic, you always walking around with a Pico Chato, with a chata. It's called chata. With a chata in your back pocket. You grab it and you drink. And you grab it and you spend the whole day doing that. It's called chata. So when you are drunk like that, they call you Pico Chato. They call him like that because he's a billionaire, but he still drinks like that.
And this is one of your connects?
Yeah, not one of my connect. He works for the Medellin Cartel. So he calls me up and then we met and then he says, we need you, man. I say, what? Yeah, we need you, man. I said, all right. And I said, what do you need from me? He says, we got a problem bringing cocaine from Miami to New York. What are your suggestions? So I gave him my suggestions. And it worked.
What were those suggestions?
Big bags, we like big luggages, 10, 15 kilos at a time. I know how to prepare them so the X-ray won't cut them.
Okay.
Because it was easy, the companies they have, the corporations they had, to bring cocaine from Colombia to Miami and Ecuador and Venezuela, it was easy to bring it to Miami to New York.
Right.
So from Miami, then they had to bring the cocaine to New York in luggages.
Right.
Or any other way, Amtrak's, whatever.
Right.
But I give them the technique, and it worked.
Okay.
And then I was doing the same thing.
Which was?
I used to bring coke from Venezuela and Ecuador to Miami, then from Miami to New York.
Wow. Okay. So you got right back in.
Yes.
After you had the meeting with these guys.
Yes.
Okay.
They gave me a lot of money right then and there. Right then, that same day, they gave me a lot of money. I don't have to call Dominican and send me money. I had so much money, I couldn't handle the. It's a lot of money.
Wow. They give you cash. Not
A lot of cash. Give cash in big luggages. A lot of cash.
Okay.
I don't even have to carry it. They say it's gonna be where you want it. I want it in I was living on Kruger Avenue in near Pelham Parkway. The money's there. Wow. Make a call. They're gonna take a luggage full of money, and that's the way it was.
So were you working for them, just doing these, basically being a courier, a logistics guy?
Yes.
Okay. How much were you getting paid? How were they paying you?
I get paid $1,000 per kilo.
And you were moving how many at a
A
time?
lot of kilos.
What are we talking?
A lot of kilos. You get
How many?
You get 8 to 12 travelers a day. With 10 and 15 kilos. Wow. And then you get, and then I have to get the workforce. Because when you send someone with 10, 15 kilos in the luggage from Miami to New York City, different airports, LaGuardia, JFK,
New York,
and Newark, you gotta have these guys watch too. Because some of these guys, they escape with the stuff.
Right.
And sometimes they get caught. Just like when you send someone from Ecuador and Venezuela to international airport in the States, you gotta have a guy in the plane watching you. Mm. You are the guy bringing the stuff. Mm. So when you come in, this guy's gonna be watching you, right? You're coming in the plane with this guy. So this guy is gonna be like looking for his luggage, with the luggage go around, but he's just watching you. So if you grab your bag and you're coming right out the airport and you get caught, that guy is gonna watch you and see that you get caught. And he's gonna call me and say, Adam, Julio got caught. Don't answer his phone call.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the way we do.
So basically you were organizing all of that from Miami to New York and organizing the people to pick the mules up from the airport, take it to the stashes.
No, I had the whole operation from Miami, from the ground, put the stuff in the bag, put the stuff in the luggage, huge luggage, the biggest luggage, and then get the guys. I hire the people that has to in New York and in Miami. Hire the people that are going to bring that stuff in, and then hire the people that are going to watch for those people, and then the whole entire operation.
Oh my goodness. This is a huge,
this is huge.
Massively invaluable to the Colombians.
Yeah.
Wow. 8 to 12 people a day.
Yeah.
That's each, and they each have 10 kilos.
10 kilos, 15 kilos, depends. Sometimes it depends who they are. If you get a student, only 8 kilos, 5 kilos.
Mm-hmm. And this is pre 9/11, so it's
way before 9/11.
It's a lot less risky, and it's domestic.
'90s, late 90s.
Right. How did you source the mules? How did you find the people to carry?
There's always mules.
Right. Right.
Because when you're in the street, when you come from the street, you know how to approach them. Mm. And in the ghetto, you have a lot of kids, a lot of working force that they don't have a record and they never travel. You give them money, get a passport, or you give them money, I'm gonna give you a couple of $1,000. All I need you to do this, and you're gonna make $500 a piece.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money for them.
For sure, especially back then. Wow, so you could make $1,000 a kilo. You could make $100,000.
$15,000 to $20,000 a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's when I made the decision, invest my own money in bringing kilos through corporations from Ecuador and Venezuela. Venezuela was my biggest
okay.
Option.
So now the Colombians helped you get back on your feet. we'll call you a domestic kingpin. You ran the streets, but you were still the middleman. You were still the one getting it, buying the kilos at a markup after they already come to New York. Now you've figured out logistics and operations. Now you want to go all the way down to the source in South America. Wow. How long?
I knew the source even from the 80s. I knew the sources, but it's more complicated. Like Pablo Escobar, the Medellin Cartel. These guys were on the run. They were operating, but they were on the run.
Right.
You couldn't just reach out to them.
Right.
I work with his people, And so it's like, listen, we need people that we could trust. That the first time I had a conversation with the Medellin Cartel was like that. We need guys like you, Adam, that we could trust. That they're not even worrying about you being a snitch or being a rat, because they don't give a shit about that. They will find out in a heartbeat who you are, who you are not. What are you doing? They're worrying about you not running with their money.
Right. Right.
They don't want you to grab 500 kilos and run away. Because then they're going to have to come after you and kill you, and they don't want to go through that shit. They want to make money.
Right.
That's what they want to do. So they grab me and they say, we know you're not going to. Listen, man, in my whole entire, as I've been a kingpin in the drug business, I never run with nobody's money.
Yeah, it's bad.
I lost money, and I lost a lot of money that is not mine too. But I never took off with nobody's money.
So tell us about Venezuela. Did that also involve the Colombians, or did you find a new source actually in Venezuela?
Colombia and Venezuela, they like this.
Yeah.
They together always. They work within themselves.
Right.
I had nothing to do with that. That Colombia is just a country that it was easier to bring the stuff to Miami than Colombia.
You mean Venezuela?
Venezuela
Right.
and Ecuador.
Okay, tell us about...
And Dominican Republic also.
Okay. Let's start with, what was the first country? Was it Venezuela?
Yes.
Okay. How did you do it?
How do I do it? I built up a corporation. It's called Isaac Corporation. It's a friend of mine named Isaac. So I talked to Isaac. He looks like me. Blue eyes, white, a little thicker. Anybody could be thicker than me, because man, this is me now, but I was like 100 pounds. So he's Puerto Rican, and he loves me. Nice guy. And he's my second wife cousin. She's half Italian, half Puerto Rican, beautiful, gorgeous woman. And I met this guy, we became really close friends. And so I speak to him and I say, look, did you ever travel? He says, no. Okay. Never mentioned that my connect could get me IDs anywhere, anyway, how I want it, they could do it, but I don't want to bother them. I don't want to be involved in that environment. I was like, no. That's a no. And I had a Puerto Rican guy also who had connections in the Rockefeller Center with the big guy there. His name is, they call him Chucho, who betrayed me at the end anyway, but it's okay. And he was the one that taught me the system. He told me, how can you get a fake ID, but real? And the reason is because I know world English. This is made for people that immigrants and stuff, but in your case, it's way, 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 way better. So I said, okay. So when he taught me the system, we started with Manuel Cuevas. That's one of my name.
Aliases.
Yeah. And we started with that, but I used that only locally.
Okay.
And the reason I used that because he had a record. Not a big drug record, but he had a record. And I couldn't use that anywhere else. That's just for the cops.
Okay, so he was a real person. So
He's a real person,
You used
yeah.
ID, you used the information from real people.
Yes.
But then
course.
you got your picture on
Yes.
there and put it on the passport.
It has to be real.
It's got to be
If
real.
it's not real, there's a problem.
Right.
So Manuel Cuervo was just locally. So when the cop stops me, here's my license. Well, all right, my insurance card, whatever. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Isaac is different. Isaac was a truck driver. Totally legal. Always pay his taxes on time. Totally legit guy. Nice guy. I had a conversation with him and I said, I could change your life around. You could make a lot of money with me. And he says, how? I said, just let me use your ID. I said, how? Just let me use your ID. Give me your name. You don't use your name. So yes, I'm a truck driver. I said, yes, you do. But do you travel? No. Do you have a blue passport? No. I want to have blue passport with your name. And he says, how much money? I said, don't worry about it. As much as you want. Just let me know. So what we did was we went into a room and I learned his whole life story. And it happens to be a coincidence, but his father's name is Joseph Garcia. My father's name is Joseph Diaz. And then we started from there. And then I managed to memorize his whole story, kindergarten, high school, primary, everything. I learned everything about his life. And then I took all that information. I had a guy on motor vehicle departments. That guy got me a license with that name.
Boom.
Then I talked to Chucho. Chucho got me a, it's called, how do you call that? That little blue card to pay taxes.
Social Security?
Social Security. I got that. Now I got Social Security, legal ID, and I got a license.
And you got a passport?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. And those are all under different aliases?
No.
That's all the same?
Isaac Garcia.
Okay.
So that's what I needed to get a passport. And I needed a passport because I wanted to travel to Venezuela without counting on the other guys. So what I did was, we went I walked right into the Rockefeller Center. Talked to the guy, give him some money, and just made a line. It's called Fast Passport. They give it to you within 24 hours. Back then, not anymore. After 9/11, that was over. But back then, yeah. So I went in there and got my blue passport. Now I got everything it takes to travel. So I went to Venezuela, met with some guys there, and we started doing business.
Okay, so, and this is all while you're still on supervised release?
No, that was after that.
Okay, so this is
supervisor. The girl that I was under supervision, Malika Madison, I did good because I was still paying taxes legally, you know, on the legal job and everything.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to wait 3 years. 2 years after I got released, she let me go. Okay. She said, I signed, you don't have to come here no more. Give me a call once a month and you're right, and you're good.
Perfect. So now you went to Venezuela. Did you let the Colombians know that this is what you wanted to do?
There were Colombians.
Right, were they the same Colombians from Florida that you met through
No,
them?
some of the guys that I met.
Okay.
And, you know, but because, listen, there was a war on drugs. And the guys that I was with from back in the 80s that Sanchez got to me, they were in trouble. They were running, they were up and running, there was a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But in that business, you always meet new people.
Yeah.
You always making your moves, you know what I'm saying? So they were connected to them,
Right.
but they were not receiving orders directly from them.
Yeah, by this time, 1997, the Medellin Cartel was fractured. It was all different groups from Medellin that were spread out throughout Colombia.
Yeah, and there was you can't even mention their names. Like when I talk about Pablo, we don't say Pablo, we say doctor, the doctor.
Huh.
We don't say Pablo. That you cannot say Pablo. Point.
Did you ever meet the doctor?
No. No. I think I spoke to him because They gave me a lone cell phone, this big, and they say the boss wanted to talk to you. And he had a black guy in New York, and the guy say, do you know who you spoke with? I say, yeah, maybe. He said, you spoke to the big boss.
Mm.
But that was his Sicario.
Right. Could have been him. Could have been maybe Luis Gacha.
No,
was
Gacha
probably
was
Bob.
not even around anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because I know all those guys and they were not around anymore. Listen, most of these guys, I met them in Miami
Right. Right.
in the late 80s.
So now it's on. How does it work? What's the route from Colombia to Venezuela? And then how do you get it from Venezuela to New York?
Okay, we built a corporation and it's on the books. Is part of public information. Because even the FBI say, how do you manage? Say, go find out. Because when they went in my house, they found everything. They found a lot of information. Couldn't believe it. The second time around.
Yeah.
And that's why on my second indictment, they put all the aliases.
Right.
They all there. I was surprised. I was like, oh my God, how do they know all this shit? But anyway, I built a corporation. It's called Isaac Garcia Corporation. Because I had other corporations, but not under my name. Like, I basically think it's my name, but it's not my name.
Yeah.
But I used it as my name. I don't know how they get from Colombia to Venezuela. When I get the trailer, the big trailer, big containers from Venezuela, that's all being made already. It's all there, in there, ready for me to pick it up.
It was set up in Caracas?
Yes, and I had a setup there.
Okay.
I have my team there, and there's also a corporation there that will fill up the containers with green bananas, Malangas. The most popular product they make is Malangas.
That's a type of banana?
No, it's like a big, I don't know how to call it. It's like a big potato. But the particular structure about this potato is that it don't last long. So custom got to rush it. If it lasts too long, it becomes water, like potato.
Right. So therefore,
They have to rush it through custom. So you pay extra for that.
Right.
But also custom is got the rights on them.
Right.
So you have to know when is the time to bring it in.
Okay, and so they're in boxes within the container?
Just like the plátanos in boxes.
Right.
In boxes.
And then where do you fit the keys in?
On the bottom, the same way.
Okay, inside the boxes, just
On the bottom of the boxes.
Right.
You gotta separate them from the product
Right. And then you just put the malangas on top?
on the top.
Okay.
And you have to identify the boxes with numbers. You identify the boxes with numbers. The numbers will tell you when the stuff gets to me, they give me a list. The list will tell you which numbers are premier.
Okay.
And that's why you know where the kilos are at.
Okay. And so by the time it gets to you in Venezuela, do you actually...
Not in Venezuela, in New York.
Okay, so the keys, they don't get unloaded in Venezuela.
They get loaded in Venezuela, but you make a deal in Venezuela.
Right.
They send to you to New York, and you receive them in New York.
I understand that, but this is the key point that people should be fascinated by. How do you get the kilos that you've just received in Venezuela? How do you get them into the boxes, into the container, onto the ships?
There's a whole operation for that. You pay for that. It's like a factory. It's like even when you like back in the late 90s, and I was sending heroin from Venezuela, even from Colombia through Mexico to New York. They have factories, they have laboratories where they charge you. They have their own operation, and I had nothing to do with that. They have their operations. You pay the price. You say, how much will you charge me to get me 8 mulas this week loaded with heroin? They manage that.
Right.
I had nothing to do with that. I pay them a price for that.
Okay.
They get the mulas ready, they send them, I receipt them, they give me the information, I receipt them in New York, and they're ready to roll.
Right. And so just like with the cocaine and the Malangas boxes,
The same way.
you didn't ever have to coordinate putting them onto the
No, I
ships
don't.
yourself?
No.
Okay.
They have like a factory for that.
Right.
They get ready, they say, Adam, your shipment is ready, send it.
Right.
So they send it, and I'm just wait.
I see. So it just comes to Venezuela from Colombia because your fake company, well, it's a real company, but your front company, the Isaac Corporation, is a Malanga exporter from Venezuela, right?
Not Malanga. It's a tropical product. That's what it's called. You either bring a Malanga, you bring bananas, you even bring, I brought frozen tamarind. I bring frozen mangoes, frozen products. Okay, and within the frozen products, you underneath you bring all the cocaine.
Okay. Right. So and those products are a big export from Venezuela.
Yes.
So it makes sense that
Yes.
you have a corporation out
Yes.
there. Right. Okay. Got it.
Never mention it that you have to take under account that before you start bringing stuff, you spend a lot of money bringing really real product, you always bring real product, but you don't bring cocaine.
No.
Before you even put the first cocaine kilo in there, you already brought 12 containers.
Because you want to have a record.
Custom want to see.
Yeah.
And when you open up a corporation at the beginning, well, first of all, they charge you. Every time the feds gonna search your container, they let you know. There's no joke. They tell you, Mr. Isaac, we're gonna search your container today. And we're gonna charge you, I think it's $2,500 back then, $2,500. And they go and check your shit, and it's a game to them. Right. They search thousands of containers.
Right.
It's like a lottery. They go, oh, today we're going for Isaac.
Right. Right.
They're not searching my container every day.
No, they can't.
Exactly. But they say, today we're going for Isaac.
Right.
It's $2,500, Isaac. Here, pay me and I'll search. That's how they do it.
Right. So now how many kilos are in an average load?
If it's 1,200 boxes, usually a container contains 1,200 or 1,800 boxes. That's like, okay, out of that 800 boxes contain cocaine.
Okay.
On the bottom,
Right.
2 kilos a piece.
Okay. So 1,600 keys. So you got about 1.5 tons.
Yeah, but sometimes you send 3 containers in a day.
Oh, shit. Okay, now that's 4 tons of cocaine.
Listen, cocaine business is big.
Yeah.
It's still big. It's big.
So you would move that much in a day sometimes?
Not a day, no. Now, we're talking now in the 90s. Now, I don't sell like before. I don't sell in the store, grocery store. I don't have a grocery store anymore. I'm not in the street business anymore. Now I'm selling to major distributor.
No, I know. I'm saying though, would you send 3 shipments a day with cocaine in it sometimes?
It all depends. It all depends the deal I get, and all depends who I'm dealing with, and how does it look.
What was your price? Like, how much were you paying per kilo?
$5,000, another $3,000 for the traveling, and I sell it 3 times.
21.
More than that.
Wow.
Depends.
Wow. And is this all going to the Colombians people, the Colombians distributors?
No.
Who's it going to?
No, because I already paid for my cocaine. I already paid $5,000 a kilo.
Oh, so you own this.
They probably paying only $1,000.
So, but I'm talking about when it gets to America, you own all that cocaine?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. We've never heard that on this podcast. We've talked to guys like you who work for the Mexicans or the Colombians in logistics, but they're not responsible. Usually guys like you just send it to whoever the cartel wants you to send it to, right? But you actually owned 4,000 bricks.
Yes, and that's how most big shots, big kingpins in the cocaine business do. They don't like to talk about it. I don't care because I already did my time. I paid my debt. I don't care about talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
That's one thing I learned. You know, you do your time, then that's it.
Yeah.
But
come on my podcast.
Most of the people, they scared to talk about it because they don't know about the law and they scared. They so scared. I'm not scared.
So tell us about now when it makes it to America, where does it port? Where do these ships get unloaded?
They get unloaded on either Hunts Point Market and back then, Bronx Terminal Market, and then in New Jersey. And I had a guy, Jewish guy, old guy, very old guy. Shit, I forgot his last name, but I like this old guy so much. I don't have to move a finger. He does it everything for me. He didn't even see what happened. He don't even know what's going on. He just called me and say, Isaac, your container is in the port, and I'm ready to get it out tomorrow morning by 4:30 a.m. in the morning, 5 o'clock. Be ready in Hunts Point, wait for it.
And this is after they've gone through inspection?
This is what happened. It's called custom administrators. They work for a private company. They do the whole thing for you. It's like an agent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to move a finger. You give them the information, you hire them, and they do everything for you, okay? When the thing is already outside the country in the sea, it's not even in the country. It's out. But they know the container is in that boat. They already know that, so they start doing the paperwork. So whether the feds are gonna check it or not, they already know. So he lets me know ahead of time.
Right.
And then when the shit is is already being inspected and ready to be sent to Hunts Point, yes, he'll let me know too. Adam, Isaac in this case, you know, your shipment is gonna be at your place at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the time they usually do this shit. All right, you know I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna have a couple of my guys waiting because I know the feds. I know how they work.
Now, real quick, is it the union? Is it longshoremen that are actually unloading the boxes filled with
this is no union between no. That's just
it's just the dock workers,
this
people.
Is business guys. This is a corporation. You have a warehouse, a paperwork and corporations and all this paperwork and all this shit is already being worked.
Oh, I see. So there's companies who just handle the receiving and logistics for shipping companies like yours.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense now. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people out there that are going to get some ideas from this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to handle any of it.
No.
They deliver it to wherever you said.
Straight to the warehouse.
Okay.
And then there's got to be employees that work for you. They're waiting for the truck driver to bring the container. But usually when there's drugs in those containers, the feds, they know how to work their way around. They do surveillance. They send investigators behind you. They know that they already got the drugs. They just want to get whoever received the drugs at the warehouse.
Right. Now, did the shipping company, this old Jewish guy, did he ever know what was in those containers?
Listen, there's a difference between shipping company and the Jewish guy that shipping company is Sealand. Sealand is just a shipping company that grabs your stuff. Oh, you got 900 boxes of platanos. Put them in the ship, in a container, send it. They don't give a shit what's in there. That's up to custom in Venezuela. Up to custom in Venezuela. If they let 1,200 kilos go through, it's not the shipping company responsibilities. Shipping company is just sealant.
Right.
They're gonna put it in the boat and bring it over.
Right.
Once it gets to New York, now it's a responsibility to your shipping agent.
Right.
That's what you could call it, shipping agent.
Right.
Which is the guy that works for me.
Right.
The shipping agents will go and says to the custom, oh, I got a container from IC Corporation that's bringing plátanos in this quantity several times a month, and it's gonna come this Thursday, it's gonna be a container with 900 boxes.
And the shipping agent, your shipping agent, knew what was going on.
No,
Even better.
no, he didn't know. Nothing.
Why does he need to know?
Because
He doesn't need
needs
to know.
He's an old guy.
Right.
He's a nice guy. And why would he need to know?
So
Listen, I'm a very legit company. Nobody knows.
technically you're so not legit.
It is.
It's not even funny.
But it's legit.
Of course, it's legit, but it's legit. It's illegit. So it gets unloaded. Perfect. We understand that.
Yeah.
How many warehouses do you have?
At this time, 2 warehouses.
Okay. One in the Bronx.
No, in Hawks Point, both of them.
Okay. Hunts
As a
Point's-
matter of fact, one of them belongs to the mafia.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so you didn't even own these? You didn't even buy them outright? You were
No, because you listen, when you go into Hot Points or Bronx Terminal, this is what happened. Bronx Terminal Market was getting, they wanted to get rid of that. Cuomo back then wanted to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And whoever was there is there because he has rights or whatever but it was there. But nobody else was gonna get anything else. You understand?
Right, right.
Hot Point is different. It was growing. They want to make it bigger because they want to get rid of it. Because of the Yankee Stadium and all that nearby and all that bullshit. Hot Point was better for me, okay? To get a bigger warehouses, cleaner, more neat, more organized. And on top of that, a lot of customers. Because most distributors in Hot Points, they were distributing all through the Bronx to Manhattan to Green Bananas and everything. All the Cubans were there. So when all those containers that I get before I was about to bring drugs in, I had to get some money back that I was investing.
Right.
So what I used to do, I used to grab, let's say 900 boxes of green banana, $22 a box. I give it to you for 15.
Done.
But just take it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Right.
So they grab the whole container. Give it to me, Adam. I give it to them.
Yeah.
And not only that, you have time to pay me. You don't have to pay me now.
Right.
Pay me
Right.
whenever, yeah, but just pay me.
Right.
So they take the hope. I don't lose all that money.
Right. How much money did it cost to start this whole thing up, to make your first runs?
$250,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And when you had the operation going fully, were you still selling the bananas and the fruit
Yes.
to your distributors?
Yeah.
Now tell us about the people working in the warehouses unloading the kilos.
You don't need people constantly in your warehouse.
Right.
You need people that work 2 times a week or whatever. And most of them Boricua guys, hardworking guys. And they come and, you pay them for the day, you pay them good. And they go. They unload everything.
Yeah.
And then they go home. Then you call the company, Sealand, come and pick up your container. They come and pick it up again. And they take it, and then you close your warehouse, and that's it. And for the day and for the next 2 days. And that's the way you do.
And then how do you move your bricks? Do you keep them all sitting in the warehouse for a few days?
When you get kilos, it's a different story.
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
When you get the kilos, You get rid of them the same day. You unpack them, you pack them, and you get them out of there.
Yeah.
You want to get them out of there.
Oh, you thought I was asking about the bananas? I don't give a about the bananas. No offense. I'm happy for the bananas. I'm happy that got sold.
Get rid of them.
I want to know about the cocaine.
No,
Adam.
the cocaine, you get rid
This isn't a fruit podcast.
You got the cocaine, back it up, and out of there. You got to be out of there
Of course.
so fast.
So, but 1,600 kilos, that's
That's not a lot.
not a lot, I guess, right?
No.
It's a big van.
No, you don't do it in a van. Colombians like do van. I don't like do van. No.
What do you do?
Different cars.
Right.
Different cars.
Right.
Send me different cars. Right. That's the way you do.
And who are your workers picking it up, moving the stuff?
Some of them didn't even know. Most of them know. But you get them to the Bronx, to Manhattan, to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But the customers already waiting for them. They're already waiting.
Right. And you're nowhere near any of this.
What do you mean?
Like you're not getting anywhere near the kilos or the customers.
Sometime not.
Okay.
Sometimes it needs my attention. Sometimes it needs my presence for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
When something was fishy, yeah, I was right there.
Right.
But most of the time, I was not there.
And are you paying for your cocaine up front?
Of course, you have to pay for the cocaine.
But up front, I mean, the Colombians must have been loving you.
You have to. It's not only me. It's the business work that way. You can't, when you load a container with cocaine, it's your cocaine.
But
if you lose it, you lose it. It's yours.
I just heard, because I've talked to a lot of people on this podcast, I've just heard of Mexicans and Colombians being notorious for fronting out a lot of it. Like, here's the work, and you bring the money back when it's all sold.
But that was me in the 80s. But in the 90s, when I'm an investor, it's the difference. When you're an investor and you invest money in cocaine, I'm doing what they're doing in Mexico. They upload containers with cocaine, they let it out, they send it. If he lost, it's lost.
Right.
They lost the money.
Right.
I lost a lot of money like that.
Right. But that's also why you
A lot of money, but I lost a lot of money like that.
Right.
And a lot of people got locked up, and some people got killed.
Okay.
Like in Puerto Rico, I sent some work to Puerto Rico, and when he arrived to the beach, they killed my guys. Yeah, they killed my guys there.
Wow. So you had cocaine on speedboats?
Yeah,
Where was it coming from? Colombia or from here?
from here.
Can you tell us that story?
I have work here. They gave me a lot of work here.
How
Colombians
much? Remember, this is sound bites, Adam. This is how we're going to sell your story. This is an incredible.
Well, but there's no big deal about that. But they did it all the time. Back in late 90s, they call me up in New York. They say, Adam, we got this situation and we got some work that's supposed to be sent it to you. And now we're stuck here. And so I called one of my cousins. And one of my cousins, I'm not going to say his name. I can't. But, and then I say, okay, cousin, take care of this for me. Say, okay. And I say, don't worry, I got the guys that's going to bring the stuff to Puerto Rico. And then, so he did the whole channeling thing, put him on the boat, send it, 500 kilos.
Okay.
When he got to Puerto Rico, to the island, they killed 3 of my guys. They killed them. They shot them and killed them and took the stuff.
Wow. That must happen all the time, and especially on the islands.
Yeah, and they kill them, and we found out who did it, and we got revenge with some of it, but we didn't even really know where it came from. How did they find out and anything? That's what I really wanted to find out.
Okay.
How did it happen? How did the fuck they knew that shit was coming there? How did they wait for my guys to arrive there?
Somebody on the inside had to be.
I don't know, man, but shit happened, man. And in this business, that's the way it is. But you don't have no time to think.
Right.
You don't have no time to think. You can't think, like, oh, wait, we're going to investigate, like the FBI. Got no time to investigate.
Yeah.
So it's called time talks. Time will tell you in the future how things happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's one of the times that it never happened. I couldn't find out ever. In the 90s, late 90s, very late 90s, right before I got arrested the second time, I made a trip to Puerto Rico to receive 1,500 kilos, but I never received it. And it was because it was a setup to kill me. They were gonna kill me. But there was a musician guy who was involved in the whole operation, and he's so famous that someone likes him so much that told him, listen, tell Adam, stay away.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so you're in New York. You've just unloaded 3,000 kilos. They just came in, 2 containers. Who are your buyers? They must be massive. Like, how many groups is 3,000 kilos going to?
It's not like that. It's not like that. You split these kilos. Because it's not only that you're receiving those kilos, you got to test these kilos. Okay? Out of 20, you take 1, test it, positive, good. Because sometimes they you.
Right.
And that's the way it is. And you test it, you check, and they go on. Because I receive stuff sometimes, and I send it through and give it to my customers, and then they call me, Adam, this is garbage. Send me that load. Yeah. So they send me the load back, I check, and I know exactly where that load came from. And I know what happened right away. And then I'll do my investigation, and then I'll take it from there.
Do you tell the Colombians, hey, I want my money back, I want some new shit?
Because they did it, they don't only do it in Colombia, they do it everywhere. They even did it in Miami. Sometimes they send me 200 kilos from Miami, and more than half of it was fake. Oh. And they did it at Miami.
Wow.
They did the same sack cover, everything. It looks identical, the same cover, but inside, they changed my material. Okay.
My question was, how many people does 4,000 kilos go to? Who are your customers?
Sometimes it's not a lot of customers. Sometimes it depends the demand at the time.
Right.
The people need to understand that. Sometimes one guy wanted it all.
Shit.
Yeah. Sometimes one guy wanted it all. Adam, please, they beg me, please, give it to me. And I say, I promise these other guys, I got to give them something. Right. I can give it to you. Right. I like you, I love you.
Yeah.
And I wish I could get all my money together. Maybe I could get less, $2,000 a piece less.
Right.
But I don't want to do that.
Right.
Because then tomorrow you disappear, who's going to be my customer?
Right.
Think about it.
Right.
That's the way the business works.
Right.
And I say, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. Right. I give you 1,500, the less goes to the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
So you're tripling your money, basically, on per kilo. Are your customers COD? Do they have to have cash up front?
No.
Okay, so you're giving it.
I don't want cash money. I think different than Colombians like cash money, a lot of cash money. That's why they all, at the end, get up. I think, this is the way I think. I think there's never enough money for all the stuff. How can you get enough money for 5,000 kilos? How can you send all that money together? That doesn't make any sense. Even if you separate it, it's like, it's a big risk.
Yeah.
Okay? It's better when you give it on consignment to a lot of other different people.
Right.
But you know who they are, and they pay you good money, a lot more money. And sometimes some of them, they're gonna fail you. But all the money you get from the rest, is gonna
offset that loss.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you don't do that.
Right. And those people will end up themselves because they just screwed over the connect, and now you'll never deal with them again.
Exactly. You gotta split it. You gotta split the coke. You know, and also Less risk. Maybe you get an informant in one of your customers, but he's not going to get to the rest of them. But if you give someone 5,000 kilos, 3,000, 1,000, 500 kilos, whatever, and that guy's an informant, you're in big trouble, man. The case is big.
Right. So you'd rather give it out by the 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even 20 kilos. Who cares?
Who were these out-of-towners or these New Yorkers? Are these black guys, Dominicans?
Dominicans, blacks, and even Colombians.
Look at that. You got above the Colombians, man.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Because my girlfriend, my last Colombian girlfriend that I have a kid with her, she used to give me heroin, a lot of heroin, but I don't like dealing with that shit. There's always trouble with that. And then she says, Adam, I have a friend, he needs coke. Who he is? Oh, he's Colombian from Cali, and he needs cocaine because his customers are Dominicans, and he needs cocaine, but he don't have what it takes. I say, go ahead. We gave him 70, he moved it like this. I gave him 100, he moved it like this. He was like, I'd say, what's up with this guy? Yeah. Where does he come from? It happens that this kid was Colombian, but he grew up with Dominicans in the neighborhood. He knows all the guys that move a lot of cocaine in Washington Heights.
Wow.
And he was moving a lot of cocaine like this. But he didn't have that connection, that Colombian connection.
Right. So
they wouldn't trust him. I think that's what it was.
And that's what it's all about at that level, right?
Yeah.
It gets back to why the Dominicans basically were blessed by the Colombians at the beginning of the drug trade, as opposed to Puerto Ricans or Haitians or whoever, it's because they trusted you. So you became like the cartel because you're fronting out all the work, you're controlling the price. It's just unbelievable. Now, you talk about heroin. Why did you step into that game? Because this is very interesting. This is when Colombia was exporting a lot of heroin in the late 90s. Why'd you get into that game?
My girl.
Yeah.
Because there was at the same point, I was not doing that good. I was in Miami waiting for cocaine, a lot of cocaine. And there was a problem. I don't know what the it was, but there was a problem. And there was no way, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. I was spending a lot of money, and I'm waiting. And then that girl that I had, she says, Adam, I have a friend, and he's bringing a lot of heroin, and we need Dominican connection to move the heroin. And I say, I'm not good at that field. I don't really like that. I don't like how people look in the street with that shit. I really don't. Cocaine makes you happy, go clubbing, whatever. That heroin f***s you up, man.
Yeah, coke's never harmed anyone.
No. Hell no. No. You're happy all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Except for Ray Liotta at the end of Goodfellas.
Listen, man. Go to Studio 54, So, and then she says, Adam, help me. I want to make some money. She needed some money. I said, okay. So I hook her up with somebody, and they started making a fortune.
Off of heroin?
Yeah. They making a fortune. And I said, why not? Get me in there.
Yeah.
And so I started making money.
You guys are bringing it in through Colombian mules?
Mules, and then I came out with that idea. I said, laptops. Yeah. So I said, why don't you let's make a test. I did a test. Send a student from over there, whoever. Get the laptop. First of all, you have to when you go through custom, they're gonna tell you turn it on. You're gonna turn it on. Then turn it off. You're gonna turn it off. And then they're gonna tell you don't turn it on again and get in the plane. That's what they do back in the 90s.
Right.
So I say, as long as you can turn it on, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Take all the hardware from the back, put everything in, fill it up with dope, and then make sure it turns on.
That's all.
And so we got a technician over there doing that.
Wow.
And then we started bringing heroin like crazy.
And heroin's so expensive.
Well, heroin, the good thing about heroin is you compress it.
Right. You can make a kilo like
Yeah.
almost like that.
Yeah,
right?
very thin, just like the Chinese heroin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
bring 2 kilos easy, not in every laptop.
And those sell for a lot.
Back then, I paid $86,000.
That's what you paid?
Yeah.
For 1 kilo. And did you sell that wholesale?
No,
You got to break that down.
8 bowls and half a kilo.
Wow. And what do you cut it at all?
I made 40,000 a kilo.
That's why people get into that business. Because you move a lot less.
But I didn't like it. I really didn't.
Right.
And then I end up leaving that shit alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's amazing about that? Then when I got caught the last time, I got caught because of a money transfer. Not even because of the drugs. It was because the guy owed me money and he calls me up. I even forgot about the money. He calls me up and say, Adam, I got your money. I said, I don't want to forget it. He's like, no, I got it, man. Just give me a name and I'll send it to you right now, you know. Okay. I gave him the Isaac name. That's how I got caught.
Once again with the money, just like your first case.
Exactly.
Now, before we talk about how you fell, you eventually go from Venezuela, you're doing some stuff in Colombia with the heroin. You end up in Ecuador. Did you also open a company in Ecuador?
Ecuador, Venezuela, and here, Dominican Republic.
Okay. So you opened up companies.
No, I didn't open a company. They send stuff to me from Dominican, from Venezuela. You don't open up a company. My company, not a company, corporation. There's a difference. Corporation in New York, registered in New York by the name Isaac Garcia. The company that sends me stuff from Ecuador is a different company, but they got their own companies and they send it to me. I buy stuff from them. That's like if you go to China, you go to Hong Kong right now and you buy auto parts from a Hong Kong company. That's not your company. Right. They're just selling you a product, but they sell it to a registered company under your name in the States, where it could be California, it could be Washington, it could be New York, it doesn't matter.
Right. But if you want to receive product in the Dominican Republic, do you have to set up your own corporation like you did in Venezuela?
No. I registered a company, I registered a corporation in New York State. It's called Isaac Corporation. I registered. I pay my taxes. I got my stamp. I got everything it takes. I rented a warehouse. You have to have a legal address. You have to have everything. And they give you, it's called an ID, and tax ID number. And without ID, that's how you bring stuff overseas.
Okay. So you're just, when you say I was moving stuff in the Dominican, what does that even mean then? If you don't have any operation here, what do you mean by that?
Because the people that you got in Dominican, they got their own corporation. You don't need them in New York. In New York, you need yourself.
Right.
You need custom in New York. Custom in New York.
Got it. So
you receive stuff in New York. You pay your taxes in New York. You get your stuff from Dominican Republic. You get your stuff from Venezuela. You get stuff from Ecuador. You get your stuff. Custom in New York, they're only gonna look into your files on your record in New York. They don't give a shit about Ecuador.
Got it. Okay. So you just send your container down to these places to pick up. Got it. Tell us about the Dominican Republic. Where are the containers picking up product here? What part of the island?
It's in the capital.
Oh, because they have a big port down there.
Yeah, the biggest port. The biggest port.
Yeah.
But it's not under my control. It's not under my control. I can't control that.
No.
You call, you say, send me 900 boxes of plátanos. Like I used to say, send me the most 300 boxes of rum. Because it weighs too much. It weighs.
Right.
Rum. Back then it was Macorix. This is Barcelona, but it's called Macorix back then. Long, huge bottles like that.
Right.
The cheapest one. That's why you pay cheap, because you don't want to waste a lot of money in rum. And in the rum, you got the cocaine. But also, the rum was not even legal. You got to buy custom. You got to buy custom.
You buy them here?
Over there.
Seriously?
In the States.
And you did that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You paid them so they could think the illegal shit is the rum.
Right, of course.
But it's the cocaine, really.
And the cocaine, obviously, it's liquefied in the...
No. It's on the bottom also.
Okay, got it. Wow, that's such a crazy Jedi mind trick. Like, hey...
But that's the way it was back then.
It's rum, but why is it illegal? Just, I want to get around the taxes, right? Is that what you're telling the customs in the U.S.? Like,
no, the legal payments, the taxes and everything is paid way before the merchandise gets here.
so why was that kind of rum illegal in the States?
It was illegal because it was not registered to be sold in the States legally, but it's not really illegal.
Right, it's just unregistered. It would be-
Exactly. So it's not a registered Adam Diaz. Well, here, boom, boom, boom. Here's your money. Stay away from me.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, that's when one of the agents told me one time, stay away from me. Don't look at me, don't talk to me. He was scared. He looked at me, he said, get away from me, don't talk to me, don't. I was, okay.
Did you have to pay him though?
A lot of money. But we don't talk to these people like that. We don't, they just go in there quick. It's like, it took me back when I was an electrician and they go and inspect the meter.
Yeah.
And they go and inspect an electrical job and they don't want to talk to you. They just want to look and and get rid of you.
Right.
Because they know what they're doing is not right, but they know you did the right thing. They know that you did right. You did it good.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get in trouble, but they don't want nothing to do with it.
Right. So what would you have to pay a customs agent to let you pass unregistered rum?
The most $5,000.
Right.
It was not a lot of money because rum was cheap, very cheap. It's not like yellow bananas. That was one of the tricks I used. You let the green banana rot a little bit, and when it gets to custom, you tell them, listen, this shit got already yellow, and I'm gonna lose a lot of money. I'm gonna lose so much money, you got no idea. Please help me out. Wow. And you give the money, and they go, but it stinks a lot. It's a big smell. And they go, get out of here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cocaine there.
Wow. That's pretty brilliant. Now, do you send somebody to negotiate like that when you do want to go down and talk to the customs agents?
No, I talk to the customs agent most of the time.
Okay.
They don't know how to talk to the agents.
Now, was there ever a time that your container got inspected with product in it?
No. It did to one of my partners in Miami, like 3 times. Three times, yeah, 3 times.
But
like in a year, and they got him. They got him convicted and everything. He up because I told him, listen, get away from the business. Go. Never come back. They own you.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't listen.
Right. But
he used different names and everything, and I said, listen, man, they own you. Get the. You're gonna. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be, they're gonna get because of you. Please stay away. He wouldn't listen.
But your product never got
No.
Popped. Wow.
No, never. Not once.
Cheers, dude.
I mean,
it's amazing.
honestly, never once. Never once.
I mean, I don't even think on the street when you were hustling in Brooklyn, they only
No, I never got caught like that.
never.
Okay, I give you a good. I can give you a lot of stories, but I'm gonna give you 2 stories.
Cool.
Okay, and you're gonna like it. Okay, there was one time when I was a beginner, right? I go with this Puerto Rican guy named Anthony, good friend of mine, tough guy, young guy, and we're going in a 4 LTD, big white car, and I had a 45. I always had a 45 underneath my seat, and I'm a short guy. And this is a big, huge vehicle, and I'm driving. We're going through the Queensboro Bridge on 125th Street, and we're going to Brooklyn because there's a problem there. We don't have any drugs or anything, but I had a gun, and I had the gun right underneath me. I always had a gun, and we stop at and then we cross the white line somehow, and this big, tall, black guy. Big, huge guy. Goes, cop guy. Pull over. Oh, shit. Late afternoon, New York. Say, oh, shit. They pull us over. He says, license and registration. I say, what do I do? Say, you crossed the white line, you shouldn't do. I said, I don't know, I'm sorry. No, never sorry. Give me your license and registration. My license is expired. I don't give a shit about license. Never give a shit about my real name.
Right.
He finds out my license is expired. He says, Adam, I'm sorry, but you can't drive. And he gets in the car, opens the door, gets in the car. He goes like this. He don't go like this. He goes like this. I'm right there next to him because he told me to sit right next to him. Anthony's right in the back. And he goes, parks the car. He says, I get back to you. You're going to have to get a driver to come and get your car. He gets out the car. I go like this and I look at Anthony. I look down. The 45 is right there.
He missed it.
Yes, it did. Then the point is that I say, Anthony, what are we going to do now? How about if they come now, they want to search the car, what are we going to do now? So then Anthony goes, he said he got balls. He said, I could grab him right now and throw it by the river because it's right there, the river.
Yeah.
So I say, no, they got cameras. No, just, he says, all right, Adam, just kick it with your feet, kick it down, kick it back. I said, all right. So I did that, kick it back underneath my seat. And then he comes back and he goes, you have to take a taxi. Here's the key. I'm going to give you a break, but don't drive it. Go send somebody to come and pick it up and take the car back. I say, all right, no problem. So let's call it taxi.
Wow.
That was one time.
Nice.
Another time, I'm getting it's called in Queens. I was living in Queens. As a matter of fact, that's another story. That when the plane crashed right near my penthouse. The cop stopped me right before I get into my complex apartment. You know, very rich people live there. I go in there and go in with my cousin, Johnny Diaz, and I go in there and park my car. All of a sudden, these 2 cops go right behind me, block me, lights on. I say, what the f? And they go with the guns, get out the car. I say, whoa, what the f? What's going on? They go, get out the car. I say, wow, what the f? What do I do? I live here. He goes, I don't give a shit. Get out. I say, all right, I get out, put my hands on the car. They handcuff me and they put me in a police car. Say, shit, what's going on here? Listen, I have scales in the trunk. I have an Uzi. I have money. I have drugs. I have everything in there. I have a lot of shit in there. I'm ready to do 20 years in state.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit. He asked me he says, what's the name of the car owner? I forgot. And guess what? I remember now, Ovidio Gonzalez.
Okay.
He was one of my aunt's husbands. I put it under his name. And he says, Adam, you know, how you driving this car, you don't know the car's owner? How do you know if it's not stolen? I said, I forgot, it's my uncle, I forgot. No, you gotta tell me. And then they start searching the car everywhere. But then they go in the back and they try to open it, but there was a trick to the trunk. You gotta push it down, go with the key like this. It's an old trick for that Ford in particular, for that LTD Ford in particular. They all suffer from that same thing. When they give every all those cars, you gotta push them down and go, whoop. I guess that cop didn't know that. So he goes, and then I remember in the back of the police car, and I open up the window, and I say, officer, you know, good thing I always respect cops. You know, I talk to them with respect. Say, officer, please, listen. He comes over and he goes, what? I say, his name is Ovidio Gonzalez. I'm sorry. I just remember. And then he calls the other guy. All right, green light, don't worry about it. He's okay.
You really have had for the amount of poison and chaos that you've spread, not just in New York, but throughout the country. You really have had exceptional luck. For your career as a drug trafficker, most cats that did what you did are dead or doing all dead.
Well, most of my friends are dead.
Yeah.
A lot of friends of mine are dead.
Yeah.
And my enemies. Franklin is dead. Coke is dead. Fernando is dead. A lot of guys, the guy that snitched me out is dead. And that's a beautiful story too, how he got killed. Beautiful.
Talk about the guy that sits you out on the second case.
No, the first case. Case, the one that got shot 27 times and then he got away with it. Yeah, he got killed.
Later on.
Later on, okay. One of my guys find him later on.
Found him.
And remind him my name.
Whoa. So
I got nothing to do with that.
No, you don't know anything about that.
I was locked up, man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, how can I got
There's proof. You got an alibi.
How can I got something to do with it? I was locked up.
Well, they have cell phones in there. You can.
No. I had no contact with that guy, but yeah, he got killed.
So, what year did you catch your second case? Is it 2000 now, or what year did you go down?
1999. 1999. I got a case in Philadelphia. I was not in Philadelphia. But I had a customer that I didn't know he was in Philadelphia. And he happens to have a spot in Philadelphia, and he was purchasing from me, heroin. And then he was not a good customer, but then I got back in the game again with the cocaine, and I left that shit alone with the heroin. I don't want nothing to do with the heroin. But the guy owed me money, and he sends me money over Western Union, and that's how he got me.
How much was it?
Nothing. Like $8,500, like $8,500. Nothing pushing money. That I don't really need it. But it's not the money that I trusted him.
Yeah, but okay, how is that?
He was related to my first wife.
Yeah, but hold on. That's almost inconsequential to how you got so much time just for $8,500.
Yeah. Just like I got time for $14,000.
Right. It's just...
Yeah, but that's how federal case work. That's how they get you. But it's a long story. My first wife, my third wife, my girlfriend, Colombian girl that I have a kid with, the one that we dealt with heroin, he gets caught bringing heroin from Venezuela. He gets caught. She gets caught. And then when she gets caught, I gave her a good lawyer and she got acquitted. Because when she got involved with this guy that brought the drugs, all she talks was about money. And the guy tried to get her involved and she was like, money, 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 money. And she happens to have a lady judge. And the lady judge felt sorry for her and said, but she never talked about drugs. All she talks about money. There's no law that could, implicate her, with drugs and money or acquit her. And she was out. They were mad about that. They were very upset. The feds, they were upset, the prosecutors. So they started an investigation and that's how they got me.
Okay. So they were after you already.
Yes.
I got you.
And when they got me, and the guy from Philly, they got the customer, and when they got the customer, they got me. But when they went and raided my place and they got me, but that's another funny story. They went to Yonkers. I was living in Yonkers, and they went to get me in Yonkers. And when they raided my place at 6 o'clock in the morning, I ran out of the back door, almost naked. And all I remember was
Probably.
yeah, well, I was sleeping, and all I remember was I heard on the radio, naked man running out of the back door. That was so funny. I couldn't believe it. I said, I mean, you couldn't get better than that. He goes, naked man running out of the back door. And I was running out of the back door. But they got me. And then, but I was scared. Because I thought it was something bigger, like way bigger, way, 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 way bigger.
You thought they had a whole years-long.
Yeah, tons
case
of cocaine. I say, shit.
Right.
And then when they take me to Pennsylvania, and then they filed the charges against me. They say 100 grams of heroin. I say, what? I was laughing. I was laughing. I say, what? I told my lawyer, what are you talking about? I never sold 100 grams of heroin to anybody. He says, Adam, you made a transaction through Western Union, so they figure out how much is that in heroin. These assholes.
Right. They just assumed that's what they do.
Exactly.
All they do is they take some fake math
and they do that.
Do an equation and say, okay, you owe us this many years.
Yes.
All right. So you ended up taking a plea deal.
Yes.
Smart.
But again, they me up again because they had informants. And then the guy that I was selling heroin to, he said, oh, he sold me several kilos of heroin, blah, 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 blah. And then his wife and everybody. And that's so funny because he asked me for cocaine way back, right? And he asked me for 10 kilos. And I said, okay, I'll give it to you. But it's not recorded of anything like that. It's not on record. And so he told that to the prosecutor. They ended up charging me with that, just for promising giving him 10 kilos of cocaine. I said, I could have give you 100 kilos, man, but you didn't give me time. You didn't give me the time to trust you. He was upset for some reason, and he turned me in.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was your plea deal? What did you agree to?
It was just for that. Again.
What was the sentence?
It was 11 years and 3 months.
Did your...
Because it's a second offender.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to say that. And it's your second federal offense, so your points are way up.
And you know what's funny? That on my second sentencing date, even at that point, my judge was good with me because he tried to help me, but he couldn't. They tried to give me like 3 times that sentence. And the prosecutor goes, this is his second conviction, drug conviction. So I raised my hand. I say, no, Your Honor. And then my attorney goes, yeah. What's going on? Say, I never plead out to drug conviction. I never admitted to be in possession of drugs or sell drugs or in possession of fire weapon. No. What are you talking about? And then the judge goes, boom, 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 goes. Exactly. What was it? What was it? And then the prosecutor goes, yeah, that's when the prosecutor back in the 80s, no. He pleaded out to laundering money. He doesn't have a drug conviction. He doesn't have a weapon conviction. So what the f you talking about? You say, so, and then I like that about the judge. The judge goes, take that off the record. Never mention again. You can never mention that he was convicted of a drug possession or drug conspiracy back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He pleaded out to laundering money.
Yeah.
And the government agreed with it. So what are you bringing that up?
I wish more judges would stand up to
Exactly,
prosecutors.
he stands up, and I like that.
Yeah.
But I was lucky with both judges on both cases anyway.
So your sentence was 11?
11 years and 3 months.
Wow. And you did 85% of that?
85 more because I had a couple of fights.
This guy likes to
He's
fight.
doing-
We know that.
And you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it.
Well, maybe we'll talk more about that tomorrow. You got out in what year?
2011.
Okay. So, and then you were deported?
2011.
You were deported right back here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
So, and what is that status now? You're never allowed to come back?
Yes, I do. I'm supposed to be a United States citizen because my mother became a United States citizen before I became an adult. But I decided not to fight the case because they want me to spend 3 years incarcerated to fight my case, and all of that because when they arrested me the second time, they gave me bail, right? And I jumped bail. And I promised the government, this is what happened. I promised the government to cooperate. Oh, okay, I'll cooperate with you, don't worry.
You just say that so they'll kick you loose.
I was out of here.
Where'd you go?
And that jump.
Where'd you jump?
I stood in New York.
No, Adam, look,
Yes,
you
I
got
did.
property here
I
in the
could have
DR.
went to, I didn't want to come to Dominican. I wanted to go to Colombia.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And no, it really happens because right after I jump out, 9/11 happens. How can I get out of the country?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I went to Switzerland. I went to Zurich, and I wanted to go back and stay there because I like Swiss.
Yeah.
But I couldn't because of the 9/11. How can I get on a plane after that?
Yeah, and you didn't have your fake passports? You didn't have...
I did, but I couldn't. The Feds knew about the fake passport. They already knew about it.
They had all the names and everything, right?
They had everything. They had all information. How can I go back? I couldn't get on a plane, point.
Yeah, yeah. That's when it's called hiring a Mexican to do South thing. You got to drive.
Go the wet.
Yeah, that's right.
Mojado.
Los mojados, yeah. To take you the other way. Most people
La
are coming.
Yola. Dominicans, we call it La Yola.
La Yola?
La Yola.
That's funny.
La Yola is the boat from Puerto Rico to Dominican.
So is that what people do? The refuge or people that are trying to make it to the States, they go on the La
Yola.
La Yola from here to
Dominican.
Puerto
From
Rico.
Dominican to Puerto Rico.
Right.
La Yola.
Wow. That's wild. Well, you're gonna have to take us to Puerto Rico. I want to film in Puerto Rico. There's a lot of crazy shit that happens on that
Well,
island.
there was, not anymore. It's called, I forgot the name too. But there's a big boat that goes from Puerto Rico to Dominican back and forth. And it's amazing how you go from the Atlantic to the Caribbean Ocean. And you can see that the color of the water, how it changed.
Yeah.
It's deep, dark water, and it's clear water.
Amazing.
You
Amazing.
wouldn't believe how amazing that is. It gives you the chills.
Are you happy? Well, how do you feel now? All these years later, you've got businesses down here. You've made your life here. You got some kids down here. You got some kids here, there.
I'm still making kids. It's a factory.
Man, you are a New Yorker, but you're a Dominican New Yorker.
I love kids.
Yeah.
And kids, I love kids, young. I like daughters. I love my daughters. They give me so much love. It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Adam.
My pleasure.
All right, you guys. We'll see you on the flip side. Adam Diaz. Peace out.